Hey guys, it's Lauren here from The Financial Diet, and today's video is brought to you by FreshBooks. And I'm currently out here in Missoula, Montana with Jessi from Animal Wonders.
Hi guys.
And these two super cute dogs.
This is Charlie and this is Tinker.
And for those of you who don't know, Jessi is the co-founder and director of Animal Wonders, which is a nonprofit educational outreach organization. So Jessi, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Sure. We rescue displaced exotic animals and then we allow them to become ambassadors for their species through public presentations, and we also have a YouTube channel called Animal Wonders Montana.
And I thought it would be awesome to have Jessi on the channel today because I'm actually really interested in getting a dog. But I think it'd be really nice to pick your brain and talk about some of the things that people should know before they get a pet.
Sure, ask away.
So my first question for you is, what can people expect for that first initial upfront cost of bringing a new cat or a dog home?
That's a big question. There's a lot of factors, and there's a huge variety depending on what kind of animal you have are planning on getting, and it also depends on where you live and if you're going to buy them from a breeder or adopt them from a shelter.
And that's actually true because a lot of people don't realize that you still do have to pay for a dog that you adopt. Like some people think that there's like no cost involved and that they're just free to take home, but adopted animals can be quite expensive as well, right? When you get their shots, their vaccinations.
There's a big expense that like your first initial vet costs are going to be, for a dog or cat, is going to be between $300 and $500. And that's a pretty big chunk. But if you adopt a dog, the average cost is about $200. We adopted Tinker here, and it was $200. All of those vet costs are included. So it's actually cheaper to get an all-inclusive dog than it is to go and buy a dog from a breeder where you need to do all those things individually.
I see. So adopt, don't shop.
Exactly.
And so when you bring the animal home, what are some things that you should have set up for the dog that you have to anticipate the cost for having or purchasing?
Sure. So if we're just focusing on a dog, then you still have to consider the variables of how big is your dog, what breed is it, how old are they. So we got Charlie when he was about a couple months old, and if you're getting even younger, you're going to need a potty train. So you're going to need pee pads, and you may need gates to gate off part of your space to teach them how to do that. So those are some initial costs that people don't really think about in the very beginning. You'll need, one of the essentials is a crate. You need to have a crate, and that expense is going to depend on how big they are. I mean, if you're getting a St. Bernard, you need a massive crate. It's going to cost like $150, but a crate for a little one is going to be like $25. A crate is really important. You'll need a leash and a collar. You'll need to get food, and
obviously you need to feed your new dog.
But I would hold off on toys. Like everyone gets so excited about getting toys for them, but hold off for a couple days to a week before you get toys, because you want to know the personality of your dog first. You don't want to go waste a bunch of money on all these different toys when they're not going to play with, most of them. I mean, those are the basics.
And how about for a cat specifically?
The crate expense is definitely going to be cheaper. It's going to be a tiny little crate. It's going to be $20 to $25. But you will need a litter box and litter. So that's going to add, like annually, that's going to add like $100 to $300 annually just for cat litter. The litter box can actually vary too. You can buy a cheap one for like $10, but you're probably going to get litter all over the place. Or you can buy one for like $200 at self-cleaning. So it just depends on what your lifestyle is like.
Okay, so one thing I'm really curious about is, what are some great pet options for people who don't really have a lot of time or energy to spend on a pet? What would you recommend?
So dogs are going to be one of the higher maintenance energy and time-wise. If you're still looking for like a furry, cuddly animal that loves to socialize with you but can also be independent and do their own thing, I mean, a cat. That's an obvious one. But besides a cat, betta fish are great. They're beautiful. They're fun to watch. There is more to their care than what a big box pet store is going to tell you. I mean, you can't just put them in a bowl and forget about them. So after you get the initial setup, then they're really low maintenance, and they do enjoy socialization. I mean, they will interact with you, so that that's a really low maintenance animal. But another great option is a guinea pig. Those guys, they're very social. You have to buy them in pairs because they are so social.
Oh, okay.
But that's also great because then they are not needing you for their socialization. They get each other. But if you do spend enough time with them, they will get really excited when you come by. They'll do their little squeals, and it's so fun to listen to them vocalize. They're very dynamic in their socializations, and so
wow, I had no idea. That's really cool. I had no idea. And what would you recommend for an uncommon pet for people that really crave that companionship?
Hands down, rats. I mean, they get such a bad
I see enough of those in New York City. My God, no rats.
I know. See, they get a terrible reputation, and I'm not saying go get one from the sewer, you know, or the one running down the street.
Home.
But the domesticated ones, the fancy rats, they are like miniature dogs. They love attention, and they will bond to humans. People have them in their apartments, and when they come home, they'll come running and like come up and give snuggles. So I would say look into rats.
Okay. So I'm a little curious about the unexpected costs of pets and how much you should budget for those unexpected costs for vet visits.
Yeah, that's a big one too, because they're unexpected.
Yeah.
If you have an emergency and you're bringing your animal in after hours or on the weekend, you're going to get hit with the emergency fee, and it can be upwards of $10,000 for if your dog gets hit by a car or if they accidentally eat a bottle of Aleve. You have to take them in. You have to. It's an emergency, and that's when it's a choice on if you want to have pet insurance. And pet insurance is going to cost about annually, like for a year, it's going to be about $150 for a cat and $300 for a dog. So when you're offsetting that with $10,000, it's your choice. But there's a risk there.
Yeah, and it's something to be aware of when you are bringing a pet home, that cost might come up and you'll have to make a choice.
Yes, exactly. And the thing I say is, like, having a pet is a choice to get. But once you say yes, once you make that commitment, it's a lifelong responsibility.
And something I've been thinking about also is, are there any things that owners get tricked into spending money on that they don't really need?
Absolutely. Designer anything. I mean, you don't need the fancy stuff. Treats are a huge one that people think they need to buy, and they don't. You can actually use the animal's diet in the same way that you would use treats. So if you're getting treats for training, you can use just their own diet. They should be fed twice a day, so they'll be excited for, right before breakfast and right before dinner, they'll be excited for the training aspect. And then if you just want them to be having fun or occupied for a while, be over there and just be with your treat for a while, like a chew toy or something like that. You can use their diet in do-it-yourself DIY toys. So some simple things to do is hiding some of their food in cardboard boxes, or under a blanket. That's like the simplest one. Just put some under, and then just put a blanket over it, and they'll be at it for a while. Yeah, you don't need to spend money on treats.
So thank you so much, Jessi, for coming on, and also to Charlie and Tinker for hanging out with us. They were such good boys and girls.
They were great co-hosts.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Jessi's cute dogs make it easier to digest information about pet ownership, FreshBooks makes it easier to run your business and get paid, among other things. As you guys know, Chelsea and I run TFD, which means a lot of number crunching, invoicing, and keeping track of paperwork. And if you've ever freelanced, side hustled, or had your own project, you probably know what it feels like to be overwhelmed just keeping track of numbers. So that's where FreshBooks comes in. Basically, it's cloud accounting software that allows you to keep track of your business and get paid in the easiest way possible. It basically acts like your own mini personal assistant, keeping track of everything from deposits to money you're owed and reminding you along the way. Plus, their unique tools are set up to make sure you get paid faster. FreshBooks is designed to be extremely simple and easy to use, especially if you're not great with math. And FreshBooks is offering TFD viewers a free 30-day trial, no restrictions. So go to freshbooks.com/TFD and enter the financial diet in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Start getting paid faster with FreshBooks. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and to come back every Tuesday for new and awesome videos. Bye!